Welcome back. We're now going to talk about certificates. So I'm connected to a JACE 8000. I am currently running N 4.12 and the JACE 8000 certificate is here. When it loads up, so there's our certificate. So Wednesday, June the 28th 2022, expires 2023. Well, I want to have an alarm message to be sent to me 30 days before the certificate expires. So how will we do this? It's quite simple. From N 4.6 onwards, you find that you have in your box, in your services, a security certificate. Now if you don't, the module is here, the NSS module. So just go to your palette, search for NSS, and this is the security service which you would drag and place into services. Now if you expand the security service, see this expiry here, it's 240 at the moment. That's 240 days left from when I is it 240 days? Not too sure, we'll come across that one in a minute. But anyway, I want to add an expiry alarm onto that. It's very simple. In your NSS palette where you've got your certificate alarms, you've got the expiry alarm. Just drag that and drop it onto the expiry, and then you can open up the expiry and you can select what you want with your alarm class. So you can have alarm class for your company, and you can have it go into your company, and then you can, from the alarm, you can have an email sent, and it will send 30 days before the expiry of the certificate. Now what I'm going to do is, while we're here, I'm going to go into my certificates. Now I know when I change a certificate I've got to shut down the station. Well, seeing this is just connected to my PC and it's not on a site, that's not going to be an issue. So go into Application Director and I'm going to stop the station. So that's now stopping. That's it, that's now stopped. So now I can go into my certificates and I'm going to delete this certificate, and then I'm going to add a new certificate. Don't want to do that. Reset. So delete all user key entries in the store, create a new self certificate, restart Niagara Daemon web server. Yes. Certificate generation has been submitted and will perform in the background. This may take a while, it doesn't take that long. He says. So that's kicked me out. So let's go back in again. That's the new certificate. And as you can see, October the 31. And we've got 2022 to 2023. So that will now expire October the 31st. Let's go into the station. Better start it first, better we? Application Director, start the station. Now you may not have 1911, you may just see 4911, and you might not even have 80, you might just have 443. I've just opened up them ports because I can, and it's not going anywhere at the moment, so it doesn't make any difference to me. These are TCP ports, So your main ports is 4911, or your default ports is 4911, which is your station, and 5011, which is your platform. You can find that while this is booting up. Platform administration. Daemon HTTPS port 5011. You can see that there. And you needed to change it to a different number, which I wouldn't recommend, but someone else might be using 5011 on the network where you've got a station in there. You would change it there. And see where this is booted now. Still starting. System trust and allowed host. That's basically if you are talking to other FOXS stations securely, you would have to approve the host. You would get a red shield coming up there with an IP address, and all you do is highlight that and go to down here to approve, and that will approve it, so it can communicate. It's taken a long time to start, considering it's hardly got anything on it. Here we go. Port 80 normally isn't open, so hence when I went into the services you saw a few red alarms. I'll show you again. Let's go in there. Accept that certificate, seeing it's been changed. Go back into services, security service. So you see some red and yellow alarms. Okay, maybe you won't. Let's refresh. So 6 alerts and 6 warnings. That tells you what the issues are. Doesn't like HTTP. See, I've got the HTTP set to true, allowing non-secure connections. And FOXS enable, allowing non-secure. That's the 1911 that I've allowed. You can easily turn them off. Let's show you how to turn them off. So if I go into my FOXS first, and I can select that to true and select that to false. That's one of them done. So we're just using FOXS. I'm now looking for my web service. There we go, web service. We want that to keep that as it is, but HTTP false. Use only HTTPS true. Save. So now when we look at the security service, we've got less alerts now. All users of the stations are super users, so it doesn't like that. It still will work. Auto log off feature is disabled for these user accounts admin. Host header validation is disabled, and platform TLS settings is enabled. So you can really lock down the station, but seeing this is a station that I use for writing software, there's no point for me. Let me go back to web service, enable that, and put that to false because I don't want to just use HTTPS. Get back to my FOXS service, put that to true and put that to false because I want to use both. Not that I normally use 1911 to get in, I always normally go in securely, as you can see there. Right, back to the certificate, Tridium. There you go, 364 now. I think that was 240 last time, was it? Now 364, so 364 days. And 30 days before it expires, it will send an email using the default alarm class. That's if it's set up, so basically a default alarm class there. And we could just do another one, say, I don't know, let's just duplicate that and let's just call that PMK. You won't have a summit. Normally what you do with your alarm classes, if you had summit, if you're setting up your alarm classes, what you would do is you would have something that's critical, for alarms, and then you may have one that is for maintenance. Critical, maintenance. Default alarm you would probably not use, you would just use critical and maintenance, and you could set up other alarm classes. But we've just set up this one for us. And then what you would do there, let's just go to alarms, extensions, don't want extensions, recipients, console recipient. So you could put that into there, put that into there, and if you wanted to you could put that into there, and then we'd go to station recipient. So if you've got a Niagara station, you could then select your station and have it sent to your Niagara station, which we don't have at the moment. And we need to set up an alarm now. So if I go to email, we won't have an email set up on the station yet, but email recipient, and then we could put that into there, and then I could put my email address in there. We don't have an email account, as you can see, so we would need to make an email account, and that would be an email service, which is there, and then an outgoing account, and then we would set the outgoing account. So you'd put your host name, your port you're using, email address probably, or account information, your password, and depending if you're using Gmail, you would enable that one, and you would also want to enable that user authentication. Let's just leave that at the moment. So now I should be able to select the outgoing account there. You don't need to put the language in or anything like that, but if you wanted to, GB, and you don't need all that lot, but you can leave it there. Save. So if the outgoing account was working, then i.e. I filled in all this information, then it would send me an email 30 days prior to the expiry of the certificate. So that was simple enough. Well, we need to just change that now to PMK on the expiry. Where are you? You're there, and you're there. And we go down to our alarms and we use PMK. So that will send the alarm to the PMK, which is this one here, and this will email it to me, and if you're looking at the console recipient, it would also be in there as well. But if you didn't want it in there, you just wanted the email sending, just cut that out and just have the whatever's on the station for the critical and the maintenance, so the user can see what alarms are active. But if you want to also remind the user that in 30 days time it's going to expire, then you can put it into the console recipient. And that will be the expiry, is when you're talking to another FOXS station. If you're connected just on 1911, so it's not secure, then it will still connect to the other station even if your certificate has expired. But if you're using FOXS to talk to another station, which we normally do now, then it will still carry on running even if their certificate is expired, but on a reboot or a power loss or a restart, it will not then talk back to that station using FOXS. So without having to renew the certificate, which I showed you how to do that, which was easy enough. But it's just another way of tightening up security, that's all. So that's it for that video, and you might have known about that, you may not have known about that, but it's just something extra to add in, just in case after if you're communicating via FOXS on port 4911 and then you end up a year later not getting communication after a system is rebooted, you know where the issue is going to be. It's going to be down to the certificate. So you just need to renew the certificate and then maybe put an alarm in for future use to email out to you 30 days before the certificate expires, and then you can let your client know that the certificate is expiring in 30 days and that it needs a maintenance visit, or you need to remotely go in there and renew the certificate. Right, that's enough for that one. Thank you for watching.